EDG? Is this a Shinzao angle for 0711? Remember last season, that was his favorite pick? Because everything is getting banned, they have no choice but to pull it out again. Because they could do that, but there's also an Aatrox that is available that Xiaozhang could use. That could be what they would be picking here for the side of EDG, because Xiaozhang was a monster last game.
Dude, actually, the Sivana is a great ban here because EDG can bank double down on scaling with the Sivana pick, and that's going to be so problematic here for G2 Blacklist. They let the Aatrox be taken instead. And still is a massive threat towards team fights. Massive late game scaling again from Edward Gaming.
Ashen and under ADC could be a good pick here. Yeah, there you go. The Lucian could be what they need. They're lacking on the damage department, Giyang, because the only way that they would have damage here is if ever this Camille gets way ahead and the Lucian would be able to get the early game in their favor. I'm looking at what jungler they're going to be using here, but please pull out the Shinzao 0711. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. We have been wanting to see that.
Oh,
wow, and that's gonna be so useful as well because it will be able to deny all the crowd control and to be sustained by a Senna. Man,
I mean, there's a Camille. I mean, whenever we see an Olaf, a Camille is also a good counter against it because the Hextacles, he can't pass through the Hextacles ultimatum. But remember, 1v1 against an Olaf on that Hextacles ultimatum is a no-no because you're going to be losing for sure. Because this is one of the champions that 0711 just pulls out on situations like this. And because there's a lot of CZ, I'm not going to say anything about it because it works.
Man, this is... I love the drafting phase coming in from both G2 Blacklist and Edward Gaming. But I have to give my hats off towards Edward Gaming. Man, they continue to surprise us every single time. Game number 1, we saw them first picking Kha'Zix and potentially, and just later on goes with the Senna composition. This time, they flex it immediately as a response to G2 Blacklist, and they complete it with so much frontline and burst, especially because of this Akali pick for you.
Yeah, what I just like about this composition is they drafted against that Akali, but then an Olaf just comes out of nowhere. And that is the biggest surprise that G2B is going to be facing this game. Because yes, they have a lot of CC, they have some sustain. But Olaf, man, he's going to be rushing towards the backline.
Yeah, and nobody's going to be able to stop him as well. They don't have any way to burst him out later on. Simply because of the threat of the rest of the composition of Edward Gaming. Now, G2 Blacklist, they really need to double down on early game skirmishes. They need to establish control. They are invading for a bit, just setting up a vision there in the blue side jungle of 0711. The EDG going towards the bottom side. Oh no, bad!
They're gonna be seeing them. They saw them.
They saw them slow. It's gonna be there. Snare though is not connecting. They're a bit scattered this time around. So just a bit of an interruption here for Edward Gaming. Continuing with the poke as well.
Yeah, it's a good thing that KD just went into the other side. Look at that. The Hecarim is already going into the other side of the jungle, and he was able to get all of the raptors that they had there. So they're still back in square one because nothing was used in that fight.
Yep, and KD as well.
Wait.
Since he is level 2, spots out 0711 that wasn't able to take the golems down.
He's level 2 though.
Yeah. Because 0711 wasn't able to get the full takedown on the golems.
That's good. That's good for G2B. Getting this early advantage for KD is going to be a good advantage, especially in this early game battles against that Olaf. And we know it's such a big wave clear that the Hecarim has. That might be the reason why they get advantage here.
Aiden has to get some sort of an advantage here into the mid lane as well. Needs to bully out the Akali, or else later on it's just going to be easily bursted out.
Yeah, and now top side of the map, look at where KD's going. He knows that he's gonna try for it. 0711 is on the top side of the map now. They could definitely try to take my blue buff after that, so that's why he's already going for the Scuttler, and he's gonna be fighting a 1v1 here.
Can KD steal this out is the question, because he wants to. Imi's gonna help out as well. Finally, they get the smite down. 0711 walking away this time around though, and will be potentially losing his Krugs as well in the top side. They continue on to the fight, forcing the flash here of 0711. Yu's gonna be there as well, but Aaron is just guarding the area. Xiaozhang commits onto the fight. Ime gonna get pulled back. Takes a bit of damage there. Aaron finally disengages, and they give them the Krugs.
Yep, good timing. KD now in position. It's a good thing that their momentum is not halted by that loss a while ago, and they are still keeping at it with the aggression from G2B.
The pressure, man, of Edward Gaming in the bottom lane continues to affect both Golden Kite and Draw. They have to go back into the base, might be losing a couple of minions and potentially some plates as well here in this tower.
Yeah, and with this, what EDG wants, get some platings, even just get this advantage on the bottom side of our map.
One plate has been secured. 0711 lingering by the area. Should be spotted by a ward here by G2 Blacklist, so they just let him be. KD as well, just continuing on the invade. A bit of a vertical jungling here on both junglers as well. Just a handshake for now. And Edward Gaming actually liking this setup right now of G2 Blacklist. They're not being too aggressive. They're not really ganking here and there. And that creates some space and time for Edward Gaming to continue scaling.
Yeah, from what we've seen here for G2B, it's going to be a problem once we hit late game if ever they don't get the early advantage for that Hecarim and even for that Lucian. Because what you want for a Lucian is to get there early to mid game because his damage is going to be falling off. But remember, EDG has an Akali, has an Aatrox, and even a Senna on their side, which is the scary part. It's a good thing that they're going to go for it though.
No one's gonna be there though to follow up. The Olaf is not there, but
wait,
they did force out the flash arrow though.
That was
made the way. That was insane, and they should be able to get the skill onto the Akali as well. New finds on space though. Still, it's gonna get taken down by Aaron. Golden Kite fadeaway shot. The
what
flash.
Was that?
What?
I wasn't expecting that. I thought that was a mistake, but no, they just went for it.
And it worked! Dancing Manala this time is going to be used here in the bottom lane, forcing out the response there of Landry.
KD's here.
Trying to buy some space there for alone, but KD
Ooh.
with his spear present, forced out the flash.
Wait,
overextended though, it's getting taken down! A bit of a mistake here for G2 Blacklist, and the punishment is there.
Yeah, and from what we've seen there, Aaron might go for another fight here.
Looking for an angle, looking for an opening here of Edward Gaming, but they're being prevented in doing so. Alone though, Cunning gonna be used, but blocked by the minions and Langui.
Oh man, and now with this EDG, look at where U is. He's gonna be going for Aaron. Does he have the timing? No, he's not gonna get it.
Yeah, that was so close though. And a bit of a mistake by G2 Blacklist, especially for Golden Kite.
Yeah, I was really surprised that they moved forward, but let's take a look at that arrow again. That is such a great arrow, man. That communication that they had there was perfect. But I was surprised that you didn't use the Twilight Shroud on this timing. It was a bit too late. Look at that. Yeah.
Maybe G2 Blacklist timed it when the Twilight Shroud was still on cooldown. That's actually genius coming in from G2 Blacklist. Right now, it gives them leverage towards the RH. Dragon should be taken here by Edward Gaming. And it's taking a bit of time, halfway through, and the arrow actually prevents 0711 from fully committing onto this dragon. Buy some space for KD to finally be here as well. Yu's gonna be trying to get the steal and will not get anything except for the kill onto Aaron. The blast cone goes back. It's still able to impact the fight, and Yu's gonna be taken down the time. Now the G2 Black is continuing onto the fight. Want to take down Edward Gaming, flash away by Alone, and they lost double objectives, lost their mid laner as well. And G2 Blacklist capitalize on this.
G2B taking objectives, taking the mid lane tower together with the Rift Herald. That's a big advantage that they could get here. And with the dragon on their side, that forces them to get the early game. This is what's good about their composition. They want to get the early game as much as they could because EDG, with the late game that they have, this is going to be scary. This is a good spot to be in for G2B.
And great Ash Arrow as well from Golden Kite, forcing the Ragnarok of 0711. And since he was still halfway through the dragon taking, the rest of G2 Blacklist was able to take control of that position. And now, they're in prime position as well to fully utilize both of the objectives. They've taken the mid tower already. Mid lane, gonna be engaged here. Langui did cast the zone and they should be able to take him down. Perfect timing by Edward Gaming.
It's hard to be dealing with that Olaf once they go for the ganks now. Now that they're gonna go for the aggression, EDG realizes that they can get those kills easily just because they have the Ragnarok, and the only way to stop is if the Camille is there, and if the Camille is not there, it's gonna be easy.
It's should be still a bit challenging actually here for G2 Blacklist, regardless of the situation. Edward Gaming has been known to just clutch out things time and time again. They're the only team to have a 10 consecutive series win streak in the regular season. Great dodge as well by you onto the arrow. And that's, again, the downside of the composition of G2 Blacklist. You have to wait for the inside of the arrow to make a play across the map.
Yeah, right now, KD looking for any kills to take in, but you is going to be his first target. He sees where he is, but they want to take down that tower.
They should be able to take this down. Call of the Forge God, though, will stop at least the back there. EDG a little bit late.
Forces the heal out, too, from Draw. And with that, that is going to be bad for their side right now. With the tower down in the bot lane, that gives more advantage for G2B to move around the map. They're waiting for the 10-minute mark for that next dragon. But right now, everything is stable and EDG is welcoming this stability that they have.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? They have stability, they have late game scaling on the side of Edward Gaming.
Yeah,
so they're
that's
not
what they
going to
want.
feel any pressure regardless of the situation. As long as the inhibitor towers are still standing, they should be fine.
Ooh.
And Golden Guy does not find this time around. Should be taken now.
Ooh.
0-7-11
KD's gonna be here.
down. Looking for an opening. Also the Shadow's going to be used. Followed up by Aaron. Trying to double tap his way towards the mines here of Edward Gaming, but still denied. The front lines are too tanky.
This is where you're gonna see it. They're gonna be lacking damage as we move forward into this game. EDG gonna go in.
Oh, Aaron almost caught. Just a slight overextension, but still able to get out. The crowd should help you though. Just escape. And again, just Edward Gaming starting to step on the gas pedal this time around. Ime needs to be very careful. It's gonna be spotted with his Christ Bloom there. Guarding the tower, I don't think this is gonna be a great idea. Still goes in, commits with Hectic Ultimatum. The rest of the squad is here. Disco Ball by Draw stops them out. They're able to take the tower down in exchange for the Olaf's life. The game is not done, the fight is not done. They still commit onto Xiao Jiang. Got the support shot gonna be used to answer back as Aaron ticking to death, burning as Alone pulls up his soul. And EDG this time able to get the 1-for-1 plus the tower, and Alone still able to exit out.
Wow.
Xiao Jiang and Langui as well as KD wasn't able to spot out the Senna.
Top lane tower is going to be taken down, and that's what they wanted all along for the side of G2B. Alone is going to be getting the recall here, but again, G2B got the win there in that battle. Yes, didn't get as much kills as we expected, but at least they got a tower top side.
Yeah, they were able to at least answer the push by Edward Gaming. And at least it is just a 1-for-1.
Yeah, let's take a look at the replay again. That was a really good setup here for the side of EDG, but because of that dancing finale, making it hard for them to even react or even go back. The try right here from EDG. Look at this fight though. The combo coming from their side, but because they don't have the damage just yet, they weren't really able to pull it through, but Alone made it a 1-for-1 in this battle.
Yeah, after the burst there onto Aaron, they were able to, or at least Alone was able to finish up the kill, and that's the thing. It is the scaling composition of Edward Gaming. It is gonna get more and more difficult for G2 Blacklist to win this game, as long as the Senna and the Akali gets the scaling items for this game. 3-0-1 for Alone, and that is huge.
Yeah, on the bottom side of the map, look at Aaron. It's gonna be the target of the hole there.
Even the ult of Langui gonna be invested. Arrow blocked by the Ornn. Ime trying to get an angle towards this Senna, but it's still being denied. Gets snared off. Has to go to meet him onto Langui instead, as they pull up the Meteor Enchant as well. The onslaught of Shadow is going to be disengaging the members here of Edward Gaming as they get the second kill. To Blacklist, but have found the opportunity to get this dragon.
That's gonna be a dragon call. A bit of a mistake there from EDG. They wanted to go for the kill against Aaron, but instead they got punished themselves. That was a bit too early, and everybody was so far away. That's when G2B capitalized.
And they got Soul Point as well. It's just so important for G2 Blacklist to match the momentum here of Edward Gaming.
Yeah, take a look at the replay again. It was because KD was here in the backline. Even if he didn't reach Alone there, it was good enough to get 2, and that gave them advantage to get the Ocean Break.
Right now, the scaling, the sustain, the damage, the dragon stacks, and the items as well coming into place here for G2 Blacklist to at least match the scaling on Edward Gaming's side. But still, Edward Gaming can still fight back. If they get the Baron, if they get the Dragon, that's gonna be very bad.
Another try.
As well, it's not so good. It gets taken down. The mist from the Senna is just so good. They timed it as well for the Baron.
That's what they wanted to do though a while ago in the bot lane, but now the Baron is up and they can do that again easily. And when they got that kill, I thought they're gonna go for the Baron, but I think not.
Yeah, they give respect towards G2 Blacklist potential in stealing this out. They had history in doing so. Both Ime and KD were already able to get those steals done on big objectives. They don't want that to happen, especially in this important series.
Oh man, the mist coming in from Alone is such a playmaker that they want to use every time. And that surprises most of the players here. Whenever Call of the Forge God is called, whenever they're inside the mist, they don't know what to expect every time.
They don't know which champion is there as well. It's being covered because of that skill, and it's being fully utilized by Edward Gaming. At least mitigating the amount of goal lead by G2 Blacklist. Regardless of the situation, G2B is still ahead, but not by much. And Edward Gaming eventually is gonna overpower them, and that's just what they're waiting for. Patiently waiting for the 20-minute mark, maybe 18-minute mark. They can actually fight harder for the Elder Dragon. And regardless if G2 Blacklist is gonna be able to get the soul, they still take the bigger one.
Yeah, the tankier people become the scarier it is for G2B, because remember, they don't really have any AP damage on their composition, and that's why as long as they build up armor on the side of EDG, it wouldn't be a problem for them to just tank up most of the damage coming in from G2B. So with this, that's what they're doing here for EDG, but look at the backline.
All of the Force God could be so many Meteor Engines actually working here against Edward Gaming, but still they take the Camille down. Answer back, the backline's gonna be breached. KD still buying some space here, getting the attention of Edward Gaming, but turn on to him, he's just gonna get taken down. Golden Guy able to pick up the kill. The knock up though by Xiao Jiang is gonna be massive. The stage is gonna be to buy some time here alone, trying to follow up time around. Still Xiao Jiang being scared, flashes away. Is going to be able to stay alive. G2 Blacklist to sustain coming in from draw is actually so important in that fight.
Yeah, 2 kills coming in from G2B, and now Baron is going to be cold. Nobody's here to help them out. No vision for the side of EDG, and this Baron is going to be taken for free. And look at that, an enchanted crystal arrow just to scout the area, and they're going to take it.
Big value from Draw and Golden Kite, to be honest. I want to see a replay on that fight, even if we don't have that much kills, and we do.
Oh yeah, let's take a look at the replay again. Good thing that Ime just pulled the trigger in this battle, and they weren't able to use the Call of the Forge God because of that fear, and that was a perfect setup coming from their side, and EDG just weren't able to answer back after.
The Golden Kite as well, getting the kill onto the Itali. You wasn't able to massively affect the HP bars here of G2B. And even if Xiao Jiang tried, the sustain man from the Senna is just too much. And this time they want to go for round 2. Arrow connecting onto Alone. This might be bad for Edward. That's big. They are going to be committing on the disengage. Peter Enchant connecting onto them to be able to dissuade them for now.
Yeah, look at Aaron. Look at what we're seeing from the map here. Xiao Jiang is now alive. And with this, they want to push them away from getting that soul. Soul is going to be up in a bit, so they need to be careful. But this Baron is helping them out.
Knock up onto one. Golden Kite's still alive. The Dancing Finale.
Dancing Finale!
Fight! And they're able to take the Orn down already. You as well. Pinned down. With Exec Ultimatum, KD going to be commenting onto him as well, but unable to take him down. But the Dragon is going to be up. Inhibitor Tower taken down as well. Edward Gaming looking to trip over their knees this time around. G2B knocking onto the base. Continuing onto the push. 0711 buying some space here for you to enter. But the Shuriken connecting onto one. Will he actually commit here? Buying some space here with the Shroud, trying to get a good angle here, but it's being denied. The Snare's gonna be there. The damage though is being denied by Draw with the sustain, and they take the Akali down.
Yeah, as long as they don't get to the back line, it is gonna be easy for G2B to just take these objectives one by one. And from what we've seen there, EDG is struggling to even find the space that they need here. Soul is gonna be taken by G2B, and that's a big advantage for the squad.
Massive leverage this time by G2 Blacklist. Not only do they get the soul, they get the 4,000 goldie. They open up the mid inhibitor of Edward Gaming, and now everything is coming into place here for G2 Blacklist. But the game is not done. To scale up the Baron, we still have the Elder Dragon that can be potentially stolen here by 0711. That is their ticket to getting into match point. They have to do it right here, right now.
Yeah, they're waiting for the Baron in order for them to be safe. And with this, G2B just made use of the advantage that they had in the early game, just snowballed it through the mid game. And now, EDG is struggling to find any kills on their side. And this is looking nice for them. So far, Alone hasn't died during this whole game, but it wouldn't really matter because no impact. Alone's gonna be the target.
This matters the most. The bitter enchant as well gonna be used onto the Senna, and they turn onto him, onto the shadows, onto the backline. Zero
Front of the Force God.
gonna be dead.
Backline though.
Is gonna be a little bit late, and now KD is just buying enough of the space, taking the members down. And G2 Blacklist found an opportunity through Golden Kite, the golden ticket in this fight right now. As Edward Gaming desperately trying to defend their base, but they're being prevented from doing so. The inhibitor tab in the bottom lane is gonna get taken down as they focus onto the Nexus. They're gonna tie up the score. And G2 Blacklist finally take them down.
G2B takes a 1-1 out of that game, and that was a very clean game from the squad. What they wanted was to get that early game in their favor, and they didn't give an inch.